Morning, folks. Today's soap is brought to you from Yulay. This one here is small, tart, and cherry. Thought it might be good, New Year's Eve and whatnot. This, if you're wondering about the scent, and I have a link down below, so on, but think wild cherry. That's probably the short version of describing this scent. Like I say, I'll have a link down below to Monica's website for this soap. But it's very much cherry. It smells wonderful. At least for me, it works well for my nose. And off camera, I'll be using the aftershave balm. Decided to go with the balm when I ordered this. At the time, I kind of felt like mixing things up in between aftershaves and aftershave balms, and I decided to go ahead and get the aftershave balm with this one here. I think I'm going to go ahead and go to the razor now. And the blade. The blade of choice today is a Gillette Wilkinson sword. And if you're wondering, yeah, that's what the box looks like. Got it in the Henson shaver, going with the red. This one here, I think in the first video, I don't think I mentioned it. It probably just a default in my mind. This is the medium one, not the mild one. And even though it does give me smooth, mild shaves, it is the medium one in the way of aggressiveness. I think it weighs 1.3 ounces, I think is what I remember seeing. Works well for me. In other words, it's got the preset angle for preferred shave, and it just, what can you say? Just an easygoing shaver for me. Want to go ahead and mention, got a few things I'm going to mention today. That's this one here, this is the Yaqi brush that I've got, and I've got a link down below to AliExpress for this particular brush, with the exception of my knot as a boar knot, and the knot that I've got linked down below is a cashmere knot. Very tempting to order that one, but anyway, the one of the things I noticed, and it's just an observation, it seemed like at Yaqi, when you're looking at all the brushes that were listed in the store, I noticed that I think there was only one with a boar knot. Not real sure what that means, if they're just changing up their direction and the way they're going to do things, or maybe financially, in other words, economically, it just made more sense to not to go with any more boar knots, or maybe just they weren't selling, who knows. But at any rate, next on the list is got it whipped up here, my Crown King Scuttle, and the reason why I'm kind of doing this is that the I follow a gentleman on Instagram, Bradley, and he here recently was showing his one of his Christmas gifts, and it happened to be a scuttle. Now I'll have a link down below to Karen's Pottery, and she has got some. If you're looking for a unique scuttle, you might want to visit that Etsy store. And like I say, I'll have it linked down below. She's got one that just Bradley's scuttle just, oh, it looks fantastic. And then, so I had to go look it up. And she's got a number of different kind of scuttles at different price ranges. But the one that really caught my eye is that the scuttle itself is white, and then it's got the barbershop colors, the pole colors, on the bowl itself. So in other words, you got red, white, and blue stripes going at an angle on the scuttle, and then inside the scuttle, the bowl inside was red and with a white ring, of course, and then it comes with a blue lid. Now, not all, that's the only one I saw with a lid, but that setup just is very unique, looked great, fantastic. Not cheap, but you are getting a very unique scuttle. That's something to keep in mind. I think it was running $90, and I think she had one without the lid for $80. And a number of the scuttles, in other words, start, I think, right around $55. Various different colors, really good looking scuttles. Shaving bowls, anyway, at least, go by and drool a little bit if you're interested in that sort of thing. She's done some really nice work. But this brush right here, I've had this one here for a while. So if you're looking for one with a boar knot, you probably have to go to buy, sell, trade in order to find one. I did not see one on the website at all. I've already put a hot towel to the base this morning, and we'll go ahead and get started with the Christmas pre-shave cube from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Anyway, just some things that I've noticed here lately and thought I would point out. It's awfully tempting to get one of those scuttles. I have two of the ceramic, if you will, Crown King scuttles, and I have one of the plastic ones. When it comes to scuttles, I'm not a, how you say, a super user. I don't even know that through the course of a year that I would use it maybe 30 times thereabouts. It has a lot to do with what the temperature is. This past winter, the winter we're going through right now, we had some warm temperatures, but here the past few days it's been kind of cold. In other words, the temperature when you wake up in the morning is like 26, 27 degrees, and the high I think is supposed to be 38, something like that. Not very warm. It's cold for Oklahoma. We typically have a little bit warmer temperatures, but it is in December, so I'm expecting, things to, how you say, get a little frosty. But boy, howdy. I have to say, that scuttle, you have to see it. You have to go take a look at it. Those scuttles are just, some really nice looking ones. Some that looks like, antique in color, like an antique brass or something like that. Almost like a, according, going by the picture, it almost looked like a pewter color. And purple, blue, with some white specks in it that kind of makes you think of, in other words, almost like when you have a night sky that's kind of bluish with, you can see the stars. Some people might know what I'm talking about. Anyway, in other words, the sky at night is not always, in my opinion, happen to be, how you say, black. Sometimes it does have a blue color to it, even at night. Just depends on where you're living, I guess. But, a lot of excitement when you go to Etsy and you find some of these very unique scuttles, shaving bowls. Might quite possibly, some of those might be one of a kind or very few of them out and about. So if you're looking for something very unique, may not be a bad stop there at Karen's Pottery. Cherry, it just smells wonderful. Good day for it. Like I say, this is a boar knot, and it just barely has any kind of scritch to it. To me, it seems like boar knots are fairly durable. In other words, I've even had some, when I first started, I got some vintage shaving brushes with the original boar knots. And very durable, long lasting, if you take care of them. Yulay soap, I have yet to have any issues lathering it up. At least for my kind of lather, I've never had any issues with Monica soap. Works well for me. Like I said, this is a medium shaver per the website, but for me it's, how can you say, mild? Feels like in the way of shaving. You just do feel the blade. At least for me, that's my experience. Very smooth shaver. I mean, if you're looking for something that's going to give you a smooth shave, easy to use, guess you might say no fuss, no muss. This shaver is definitely it. With that preset angle, for me, it's just like, wow, easy going shave. About the only thing that might make it easier for some folks is if it had a pivoting head. But for me, it's really easy to use. It's nothing to it. So you can kind of imagine somebody that's just starting out using a DE, this probably would be a good place to start. And I say start, meaning not that you're going to progress to anything else, because if you happen to like it, you may not even go anywhere else. You might just stick with this razor and this razor only. It really depends on where you're at in your, I guess you might say, shaving adventure. It's hard not to be interested or curious about other shavers, and that's where I'm at. It's just, there's so many different shavers, and the competition is fierce out there. It is tough. I mean, there's a lot of shavers similar to this one here that a nice, smooth, comfortable shave, well-made razor. In other words, it should last you a lifetime if you take care of it. It is lightweight aluminum, so in other words, it kind of fits the bill there for some folks that are looking for something that's lightweight, not necessarily heavy. Plus, you know, you can imagine if you read through different websites, one of the things that is very consistent is that aluminum razors are cheaper and easier to make than if you make one out of like titanium or choose your other metal, stainless steel, whatever the case might be. It's just easier on the machinery for them to use aluminum. It is a nice shaver. I mentioned titanium. They do have a titanium, I think it's titanium if I remember right. Yeah, it is a shaver. It kind of fell in that same category from time to time. Rockwell 6S versus the 6C. The 6S is more expensive than the 6C. Different material was used in making the shaver. And I wasn't too sure how much better of a shave would I get, if any. And I guess it just didn't spark enough interest for me to buy the Rockwell 6S, or in this case would be the titanium. It just, what can I say? The shave I'm getting right now is pretty nice. I can't complain. Sometimes colors will do the trick in triggering me buying something. In this particular case, I got red, so I'm already good to go. But don't take me wrong. I do like heavier razors. It is nice to have something that feels nice and solid, and usually something that has weight to it does feel solid. But this shaver is pretty nice. I enjoy it. In other words, I could see later on, as my youngest son progresses through his shaving journey, that this would be one that he might be interested in because it is so easy to use. Smooth and comfortable. Don't have to focus a whole lot about it because you've already got your angle there. Just maintain that angle. Find a blade that works for you, and then so far I haven't found a blade that seems to want to not work in it. Of course, I haven't tried that Lord blade yet in here. That one that I use in the R41 that just like, oh mercy. That blade was not a good one for me that day. There is another one that I'm going to try again one day when I work up the nerve. And that's Bic Chrome. The Bic Chrome did not work well for me. I had 3 different boxes, used one out of each box, and still got the same kind of shave. So I don't know if the lot was bad or what the deal was, but I did go ahead and order one here recently. I just haven't worked up the nerve to try it again. What I'll do is I'll try it off camera, and if it doesn't work, then definitely not doing a video with it. Not any need to start on one cheek and stop and okay, time to change blades. I can do that off camera. It's just some blades, sometimes just doesn't work for folks, and that's kind of where that one fell at that point in time. And it could be that maybe I just got some bad blades, that was in a lot that didn't quite, pass inspection, at least mine. And maybe I know there are a number of people that use them. For me, that at that point in time, it just didn't work well for me. I can't imagine what the quality control is like on these blades. Because you imagine they're making a bazillion of these blades, and how do you maintain quality control over that many blades over a length of time? It is really hard to imagine how that's done. It's a lot of work. I'm sure they've got it all figured out since they've been in the business for a moment or two. I'm not expecting any kind of stinging this morning. Next shaver I plan on using is going to be a Parker razor. It is outside of the variant, I guess you might say, is a fixed shaver from Parker. I think it's probably one of the best ones they got, if not the best, and that's going to be the semi-slant. That shaver is an awful lot like this one here in a way of smoothness, efficiency. No stinging this morning. Didn't think there would be. Witch hazel. It's getting a little bit lower. It depends on, when it comes to witch hazel, it depends on what your wants or needs are. I enjoy mentholated witch hazel. I get it from Stirling. It works quite well for me. I really do enjoy it. It's unscented, but it is mentholated. Does it cost more than witch hazel that I might be able to find at Walmart or at Target or TJ Maxx, Marshalls, in other words, various other places? I can usually find at Marshalls, I can find Humphreys witch hazel, either with a scent to it or a larger one without the scent to it. I think the most expensive, the big tall bottle of Humphreys, if I remember right, is $6.99. And I think that's 12 ounces. The 8-ounce size I can usually find at $5.99. I think that's about the going rate in between the two. And one of the things I have noticed, and I think I mentioned it in another video, but if you're a Humphreys Witch Hazel fan, visited their website not too terribly long ago, and they are changing the containers that their witch hazel is in. A totally different look than what we're accustomed to. So in other words, the other witch hazel bottles I've got right now from Humphreys kind of sort of resembles this, except for instead of being a brown plastic container, it's a clear container, transparent, and with a flip top like this one here. And the bottles I notice are round, and I think, if I remember right, frost in color, something like that. But anyway, don't know what that does besides just marketing, but you might find Humphreys witch hazel at a reduced price because they're moving out the old stock and moving in the end. Just something to watch at certain places where you might find Humphreys. I know Walmart has Humphreys witch hazel. Oddly enough, it's not with Dickinson. I don't understand why it's not with that, but it's usually located different spots. So if you're looking at Walmart, don't think that it's going to be with the other witch hazel. You got to go hunt for it. And I noticed that they carry the pads also. All right, get ready to use the aftershave balm. I hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe on this New Year's Eve. I know it might be kind of tough to stay inside, stay away from all the craziness, but stay safe, stay healthy. Smooches to you.